You guys have got to see this. Tim Walz is absolutely spiraling out of control live on TV in Minnesota. We also have a Somali elected official in Maine. He's been caught and he's also facing charges, which is a crazy story because this is all going nationwide. Apparently, Tim Walz does not like being called the R word, and he is losing his mind because no one is trying to stop Trump. And the crazy part about it, there is compilations of him saying absolutely worse things and actually calling for violence. But yet he is trying to lecture the American people that violence is going to break out because of what Trump is saying. Well, anyways, if you guys don't believe me, and then we'll get to Ilhan Omar and what's going on with her and her interview and what she said about Americans and how we even got to this point in the first place. Make sure to smash the like button. Take a look at Tim Walz absolutely losing his mind.
Are you okay with the president calling our neighbors garbage? Are you okay with him referring to Minnesota as a hellhole, unfactually untrue? This creates danger. And I'll tell you what, in my time on this, I'd never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. This is shameful. And I have yet to see an elected official, a Republican elected official, say, you're right, that's shameful. He should not say it. So look, I'm worried. We know how these things go. They start with taunts, they turn to violence. So deeply concerned. Are you okay?
This is the same guy who said that he wished that he woke up to news of Trump being gone, unalive, dead, right? But there is more, ladies and gentlemen. Again, he's just absolutely become a meme at this point. Because he's losing it like never before. And why is he panicking this way? Well, because the scandal and the scandals and the people being arrested and all of this fraud and the billions of dollars actually taking place in Minnesota. And now you have arrests in Maine. You have Stephen Hilton, who is leading the race for the Republicans for the new governorship probably coming up this year. He's talking about how the scams are leading to California as well. And this all has happened under the watch of Governor Tim Walz. So that's why he's freaking out this way. Just look at him.
True. This creates danger. And I'll tell you what, in my time on this, I'd never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. This is shameful. And I have yet to see an elected official, a Republican elected official, say, you're right, that's shameful.
Okay, so here we go. Let me show you the compilation before we jump on to the next big story. Let me show you exactly what a lot of people know about this guy. Let's actually listen to his words very carefully, as again, he is freaking out because he's trying to make this about the R word and being called the R word by Trump and people going around his house and, you know, his own voters pretty much turning on him. Let's take a look at who he actually is.
But look, this is what Donald Trump has done. He's normalized this type of hateful behavior and this type of language. Well, maybe it's time for us to be a little meaner. And when it's adult like Donald Trump, you bully the shit out of him back. What we should demonize is people like Elon Musk.
Although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime. Just so you know, there will be news.
So there he is. Right, saying that we should demonize Elon Musk, right? So, okay, cool. And then he says we should, we hope to have woken up to Trump being gone, like him being dead, him passing away. Like he was hoping that, he's saying that in front of people. And mind you, this has led to, like, this rhetoric, in my opinion, has led to what you've seen with Charlie Kirk, has led to what you saw with the 2 assassination attempts with Trump. But now he's panicking. He's saying that all of this is going to cause violence, is going to cause all of these things. He's trying to protect the scammers at this point. He's trying to protect the people who have been caught under his watch. Because as much as we can make it about Somalians, we have to make it about this guy, like literally not trying to hold himself accountable for all of this happening under his watch, right? All of it. Was he in on it? Why was he fighting the whistleblowers? Allegedly, the whistleblowers came out and said that he was basically doing everything that he could with his governorship powers to basically stop them from coming out and telling these stories, because these stories started to come out in 2023. We are about to be in 2026. But here we go. Here's where things get crazy. And here's where things go nationwide. We have a huge story coming out of Lewiston. Now, this is crazy. Lewiston school committee member, right, an elected official, indicted on theft charges and stolen gun case. Wow. We have a Lewiston committee member and city councilor-elect is now indicted on criminal charges in a case allegedly involving stolen guns. His name is Iman Osman, was indicted on Monday for theft charges, according to court documents. Osman is charged with one count of receiving stolen property and one count of theft by unauthorized taking of a firearm. So things are not getting better. Things are not getting better, ladies and gentlemen. So this is where the story actually takes a crazy turn. So again, Somalian Maine city councilor elect and school board member was just indicted on charges allegedly stealing guns. Here he is at an annual Somalia celebration. I think Maine is the second. I think they have like about 3,500, almost 4,000 Somalians there. So the fact that this is coming out now is wild. But again, this is just what's happening. This is a city council elect. You can contact the school board chair superintendent here. They gave away all the information. They're saying that he must resign immediately. And just to add more to the fire, apparently, allegedly, he was state of Maine versus Iman Osman. Apparently, they put him down as a white man. They put him down as a white man, bro. So you have all the whites pissed off about all this stuff. So that's some big news coming out of Maine. And so again, ladies and gentlemen, what does Ilhan Omar have to say about all of this? She was asked about how in the world could this have all happened under your watch, under the watch of you and, of course, Tim Walz. Well, her response is no different than Tim Walz. There is no accountability. Just take a listen.
First of all, federal prosecutors say 59 people have been investigated in these schemes so far. Americans at large stole tens of billions of forms of aid during the pandemic all over the country. Minnesota's fraud scandal stands out, according to federal auditors. What are you hearing from investigators right now?
Well, I've been following the cases closely as they've gone through the courts, and we know that there are more indictments possibly coming. I think that number might go up to 73 is what I'm hearing.
Okay. Can you shed any light?
Wow. So the number is going up to 73. She's apparently keeping her eye on it. And again, this does not make Ilhan Omar look any better. In fact, it's making her look worse. And it's making Tim Walz look absolutely worse. So let's go here real quick. I got to show you this.
To another story that just keeps getting worse for Tampon Tim Walz and the entire Democrat apparatus in the state of Minnesota. We know you've heard about it, but let's look at it a little bit more closely. 75 Somalian immigrants are accused of stealing billions of dollars from Minnesota taxpayers and sending most of that money back to Somalia to fund the Al-Shabaab terrorist organization. Tim Walz knew about it and did nothing, reportedly, allegedly. And we rarely say this, but if the accusations are true, look, Tim Walz's political career, it's over. Forget about it. He better get a good lawyer, and I'm talking about a really good lawyer because Tampon is going to need it. Again, we're talking about Somalian immigrants stealing money from American taxpayers, American citizens, and then sending that money back home to Somalia in Eastern Africa. And how do Democrats react today?
Yeah, so the reaction is pretty much senseless, and it really does nothing. In fact, I wanted to go to this video right here.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
Wow. So she says that, again, 77 million people are stupid and intellectually dumb. And this is what her response was, I think, when Trump first became president again for the second time. And that's how she feels. But there's somebody who has a response for her. I do want to play this video. You guys have to see this. This is Ron DeSantis, the people's governor.
Obviously, he's got a lot of egg on his face. It's a big scandal. But I'll tell you, I'm watching the clip of Ilhan Omar. This is somebody that fled this, terrible country, no rights. And then she comes to the United States and uses our freedoms to try to make us more like the country she fled. How the hell does that make any sense? And why did we, over many decades as a government, obviously, not me or current Trump administration, but what had happened to bring in so many people who really don't necessarily want to assimilate? And I think some of these candidates who run there talk about they're not America first, but Somali first. So it's really a failure of the elites in this country with how they've handled immigration, particularly by putting Americans last.
Well, they say it's racist if you say that all these Somalis stole $1 billion.
Yeah, the race card is what they're trying to do to evade accountability. They'll say you're racist. They'll say you're, quote, Islamophobic. If you question why some of these folks have no interest in assimilating into American society. And I think people, particularly in Republican side and the conservative side, I think we're beyond where they can just sling the race card out and people should be scared of that. That's what they'll do. That's their default. But I don't think people are buying it anymore.
So that is the governor of Florida, who, again, he's the people's favorite. I'm not gonna lie, man. He is a lot of people who didn't even vote for him are pretty much saying that he is a good governor. He's done, what you can do, the opposite of like a Gavin Newsom or the opposite of a Governor Tim Walz. But again, here he is speaking of assimilation, speaking of America, speaking of what a lot of people who are immigrants probably already feel, and which is, people coming over and seeking refuge in the United States and then trying to, I guess, turn the United States into exactly what they were running away from, which is, I think, what happened in this during Biden in New York City, where you see a lot of people, even migrants who had came along. They were like, man, we have people coming in who are being let in who we are running away from. So that is a very strong conversation for the very mature, which I'm just not sure you can have this type of conversation with a lot of people, in my opinion, because it'll just turn into a shouting match. A lot of people in their feelings, usually white liberals or Hispanic liberals or whoever, just liberals, period, lose their minds with that specific conversation. But it does go down to America, assimilation, and what exactly goes on here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, ladies and gentlemen. Very wild times in Minnesota and Maine, all over the country. Let me know what you guys think down below.